So my senior year, I kind of did a little bit more what I guess you could call soul searching, and decided that I didn't want to go to law school just for the sake of going to law school. So I decided to kind of take a step back and analyze why it was I actually wanted to go to law school, and realized I was much more driven towards policy that, kind of came out of the law rather than learning the law itself. As my senior year, I decided that I wanted to get a little bit of what we call real world experience before jumping into grad school or law school. So I decided to look at internship opportunities, whether it was in DC or maybe somewhere else, in issues that I was interested in. I looked at some opportunities out in DC, one of which was for Senator Harkin. I applied for the internship and was lucky enough to get one. So in August, I packed up and I moved to DC, and I interned for the senator in a committee that he chairs called the Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. And I started in the Health Policy Office, and then I switched to the Education Policy Office, which is where I am now. So that all being said, what I do now is I am a legislative aide for the senator in this policy office that I just described, in the Education Policy Office. So I work solely on education policy. I do a lot of research I work for the majority staff, so the Democratic staff. I do a lot of research in the areas of K-12 education and higher education for Chairman Harkin and the other Democratic senators on the committee. What that kind of looks like day to day, I do a lot of what we call background research memos, anything that comes up that I think the senator may need to know, whether it's in the state of Iowa, obviously since he's an Iowa senator, or nationwide, right, because he chairs this committee which oversees policy for the entire country. So I do a lot of memos on, recent reports that have come out that I think would be helpful for him to know, briefing him on an issue, if the White House or the Department of Education or something releases something he may need to know on that. And then also a lot of what we do on the committee is hearings. So I'm sure you've probably heard about it in the news, the Senate will call a hearing on XYZ issue. So if it's related to education, we're probably behind it. And so in order to prepare for a hearing, I do a lot of background research, a lot of what we call vetting witnesses. So I'm on the phone a lot talking to people on certain issues, what they think they could bring to the table to discuss, especially in relation to what the senator's priorities may be. And then a lot of times I draft what are called talking points. So anytime the senator will go speak on an issue, if it falls in the portfolio of issues that I work on, I draft certain talking points for him so it kind of jogs his memory. Because senators are very busy, and so they need some staff to help them just with helping remind them of the certain issues that they've been working on, what they've been doing, just so they have an idea of kind of the landscape and what's going on. So those are kind of the big things of what I do now.